investing in high quality products and high quality deployment, I think is very critical today when it comes to data networks. Of course, I mean, our telecom operators today are doing exceedingly well. They're right across the globe and very much, you know, building out in India. It's a very good mix between wireless and optical fiber, and we are there, you know, partnering them with all that. Okay, a messed up slide. But really what I wanted to put forth is that we started with manufacturing of optical fiber. We recognized that how important even deployment and maintaining of data networks are today. And therefore, we have built the end-to-end skill set, both in capacity and capability. I stand before you today to just highlight a few things. Today, the Indian company and the Indian industries are very mature in their capacity and capability in building out data networks in passive, active, software and what have you. This is an entire ecosystem. And I think it makes but sense that when our governments are sitting here together to say, let's skill our people across the world, please avail this opportunity to take from India the skilling, the technologies, the products and what have you that will ensure pace and ensure high quality network deployment. I'd like to thank you at this point in time. I want to keep it really short. Just wanted to put forth that across the world, nations are so critical and all of you all salute your flags. So with a salute to nation building, I'd like to say that we are standing before you to be able to partner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati. Now we have a special address by our guest of honor, Sri Ramesh Abhishek sir. In fact, he is looking at Secretary Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. So the Government of India department responsible for promotion of industries, foreign direct investment, and more important in the new role of Startup India, Stand Up India, and ease of doing business. So whenever you are looking for doing anything with India, so it's the industrial policy and promotion. I welcome you, sir, for your address.
Very good morning, Mr. J.S. Deepak, Secretary, Telecom, other dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Pathak has given a short introduction of my department. We are responsible for investment promotion in addition to a whole lot of other things which have been mentioned. And let me first start by extending warm greetings on behalf of my department to all the delegates here, especially the foreign delegates. This is really a very good time to do business in India and do business with India. With a central government in place which is completely committed to ensuring growth of our economy, ensuring that there is ease of doing business, creating a business climate which is appropriate to ensuring a high growth rate. I think the kind of initiatives which have been taken in last 2.5 years are transformative in nature. I just like to briefly mention, because I can see that this turning out to be a slightly long inaugural session. You know, Make in India, of course, is one of the critical initiatives of this government. Under Make in India, the government provides the kind of policies, tax policies, FDI policies, ease of doing business, skilling and the infrastructure which are all required to create a good ecosystem for promoting manufacturing in India and also for promoting the development of 25 sectors other than manufacturing also, which are part of Make in India program. The goods and services tax, which is going to be implemented from next year, is going to be a game changer for our industry, for our economy as a whole, because this will provide a very competitive environment for manufacturing in the country. The cascading effect of taxes, the high transaction costs, the fragmented economic union that we have now, all will be a thing of the past. cost of compliance etc. also will come down sharply. So, goods and services tax is a major reform that the government is doing. If you look at other reforms, we have now in place a bankruptcy and insolvency code that is going to be implemented by December this year. This will provide finally a good revival and exit mechanism for companies. In the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index, we moved up 12 points last year. We are going to make progress this year and much more in the coming years because of the very structural reforms that are being made in the procedures and the processes that we have. Trading across borders, which is of interest to this audience also, is one of the highest priorities for the government. As a matter of fact, customs have set up a single window interface for facilitating trade from April this year, in which 6 agencies of the government have been brought online for facilitating imports, and similar initiatives are also in place for promoting exports. Now, the number of documents which are required to be filled up for export and import have been brought down to 3, and there are a whole lot of very major changes which have been done and which are being done to facilitate ease of doing business on trading across borders. Earlier, getting an electricity connection in India would have taken you maybe from many months. In many places, Delhi, Mumbai and many states, now we are getting this in 15 days. Construction permit, now we are getting in 30 days, which used to take years. So, in whole lot of areas, and start with states, because states are very critical. We have a ease of doing business ranking of states, which is being done today by the World Bank team working with us, and the states are working really hard to ensure that they provide the kind of business climate that is required for growth of business. 12 states have got more than 75% score in that 340 point index, and this is being done online in full public view, where the states are justifying their reforms and they are explaining what they have done. If you look at the infrastructure, the kind of work that is being done on highways, on railways, on inland waterways and ports, the government has started very major program for improving the infrastructure of the country, which is of course very, very critical for doing business. All the efforts made so far have shown results in terms of our improved ranking in a number of indices. In the logistics performance index brought out by the World Bank, we have moved up 16 points, and as a matter of fact, this is based on the assessment of the foreign business which does business with India. So, whether it is customs or movement within the country or documentation, this has been a major reform. If you look at the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index, we have moved up 32 points in last 2 years, 16 points in each year. This recent report came out very recently. That also shows the kind of strong macroeconomic fundamentals that we have in place, the kind of financial market reforms that have been done, the monetary policy that we have. In Global Innovation Index also, we have moved up considerably, that is brought out by WIPO. And I think this is really important. We have already seen the kind of technology that we have in the sector, the developments that are taking place, and the enormous opportunities that are there for doing business with India. So, I will not take too much of your time. I just like to say that the government is very committed, that we promote innovation in the country, we ensure the ease of doing business, and we promote investments in the country, because we want to make this country the easiest, simplest place to do business in. Our target is to break into top 50 of the World Bank Ease of Doing Business report in 2 years' time. So, once again, my warm greetings and my best wishes for a very successful program, and my congratulations to the organizers and especially the Department of Telecom, led by a very capable secretary and my friend Mr. Deepak. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In fact, in case of telecom sector also, all the Indian manufacturers are expanding their manufacturing capability. So, they are setting up their plants under the MCP scheme of Government of India, and in fact, MNCs also like Ericsson, who is even a sponsor of this event, will be setting up the next plant in Pune. They have already one in Jaipur. Even in past 1 year, there has been more than 30 plants For manufacturing mobile phones also, they have started from the first stage of assembling. So, under this Make in India, that will be a huge success under your guidance. So, thank you sir. Now, I invite the guest of honor, Sri J.S. Deepak, Secretary Telecom, and in fact, sir has been the, I think, founding member of Telecom Export Promotion Council also during his previous tenure. So, sir, I invite you for the blessings to the TEPC as well as the industry. Thank you, sir.
My esteemed colleague, Shri Ramesh Abhishek, Secretary to the Government of India and the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, business leaders and doyens of Indian telecom manufacturing and services industry present here on the dais and in the audience, senior officers of the Government of India and the Telecom Export Promotion Council, our distinguished guests from 28 countries, from South Asia, from Southeast Asia, from Africa, from the Caribbean, and from Latin America. A very warm welcome to you. Leaders of business, industry, trade, members from the media, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is, as you know, I have been introduced as a special guest, though actually I am a special host as Chairman of the Telecom Export and Services Promotion Council of India. It is indeed my honor and privilege to welcome all members from all countries who are participating in this 8th B2B telecom event being organized by the TEPC. The Telecom Export Promotion Council was set up in 2008 to promote export of telecom services and products from India, and in a short period of time it has really done yeoman service. Its membership consists of companies from the telecom infra installation sector, those who provide turnkey services, telecom network operation and maintenance services, both the supply of telecom hardware and software, as well as telecom consultancy. So it is like the who's who of telecom equipment and services in India who are represented under the umbrella of the Telecom Export Promotion Council. The association has been active, and this year we have a program of 8 outreach workshops in different countries, from CEBIT in Australia to Communicatia in Singapore, from the ICT Expo in Nairobi to AfricaCom in South Africa, as well as GITEX in Dubai and a number of other events. But what is the crown jewel in the calendar of events which the TEPC participates in or hosts are the 2 India Telecom exclusive B2B exhibitions which are organized back home in India. And I say this because not only of the width and the quality of participation, the extent of business that is conducted in these events, but more than that, on the opportunity it gives our distinguished visitors from overseas, not only to interact with a variety of business and industry leaders from India, but also to visit, see their facilities, understand for themselves what Indian telecom has to contribute to the world. The Indian telecom sector is a large and vibrant sector. To those of you who may not be very well initiated to it, it accounts for about 6% of India's GDP, has grown from 20 million phones only in 1997, and in 20 years we've crossed 1,060 million. So it's from 20 million to a billion plus in a short period of 20 years, almost all mobile, and 90% based on private investment and enterprise. The vibrancy and the extent of happeningness of this sector can be gauged from the fact that in the last 1 month, we've had a major launch by a new telecom service provider. We have a major merger between two amongst the 6 biggest telecom companies. And today, we are in the process of conducting one of the largest spectrum auctions. So there is something happening in addition to the fact that the ICT exports from India for services and products has touched more than $110 billion, mostly to the advanced and developed countries in the world. I mention all this just to say that the telecom sector is a showcase sector, both in services and products, in the matter of good governance and regulation, in ease of doing business, as well as in foreign direct investment, as well as bringing to our citizens some of the best benefits of digital technology. The Digital India program, which many of you might have heard, is a flagship program which was launched by our Prime Minister a couple of years ago. Through this program, the vision is to provide for every citizen, including those in the farthest villages and rural areas, digital connectivity as an essential infrastructure. Not only this, to top it with services, government to citizen services which they need daily, make it paperless, cashless, presenceless, in the sense that the service could be availed online if the citizen so wishes, without the need to go to government offices and seek it across the counters and all the costs and time that that entails. And finally, the vision of Digital India also incorporates empowering the citizen in 2 ways. One, by giving him a choice. The 2 ways to empower is perhaps to give a person a voice and a choice. So the idea is to give them a choice of availing services digitally, and to give him a voice by making him and giving him the opportunity to give his feedback on government schemes, programs, and activities which are ostensibly being run by the state for his benefit. The government and the private sector are working together to make this vision happen. This morning, you've heard from 3 major businesses incorporated in India in the telecom sector. You heard from Rihan, a base station manufacturer and provider. You've heard from Tejas, who are leaders in optical transmission equipment. And you heard from Sterlite, who do an end-to-end job in optical fiber, as well as executing projects of laying optical fiber for broadband connectivity. In addition, you also heard from CDOT, a premier R&D institution which the government has set up and supports to develop indigenous technology in the telecom sector, which is appropriate for the emerging world, for developing economies and countries. While I will not repeat what these distinguished gentlemen and lady have told you, I have the experience of working with all of them. Recently, we had a huge project of setting up 2,000 plus mobile towers in some of the most difficult areas of the country, in forest areas, distant areas, extremist affected areas. And this is one of the companies which did the job on time with requisite quality. We are implementing today the largest broadband network program in the world. We are planning to lay 1.7 million kilometers of cable in the next 7 years, out of which 600,000 kilometers is to be laid in the next 2 years. This is arguably the biggest project in the digital world, the next largest being the broadband network being done by Australia, which is a mere 200,000 kilometers in 10 years. And in this project, Tejas is working with us to supply equipment, GPON equipment, which is developed and licensed by CDOT, both of whom from which you heard. And to bring in the fourth player, one of our EPC contractors for large areas for laying broadband, laying optical fiber for broadband penetration is Sterlite Industries. So what they said, you heard. Let me validate it and let me add my confirmation to the fact that these are companies who are in a position to provide services which are of great quality, which provide robust equipment for the need of a developing country.